What's up, guys? Justin O'Donnell here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We are under 6 weeks out from nationals now, and we got a quick one for you today. We're going to run through a hamstring and glute workout. We split our leg days up. We do a quad day that's more of a heavy day. Hamstring day isn't quite as heavy and crazy, but we still train hard. And at this stage in prep, trying to really bring out the details, not doing anything too wild. And I tweaked my lower back yesterday T-bar rowing, so my back is a little stiff. So I'm just gonna work around it. When it comes to bodybuilding, it's kind of a war of attrition. Sometimes you have little tweaks and injuries, and one of the things you have to do is be intuitive and work around it. So normally I would do some kind of hinge that loads my hamstrings in a stretch position, but I'm probably not going to do that. My training partner, Justin Jacoby, probably will. So we'll show you what that looks like. As far as the workout goes, we're going to start with adductors. We're going to go to laying leg curls, seated leg curls, and then we do a hamstring focused leg press. And then we have some like glute hamstring raises that we're going to do. And then Jacoby's going to do probably like a RDL on the pit shark. And we might finish with like a glute centric split squat type of deal. Relatively quick workout. So we'll take you through the exercise selection and show you some intensifiers as we go. So let's get it.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Good set.
In a while. Can't really do much about it. I don't have much of an excuse though, considering like we're only 9 pounds away in body weight. Less than that, actually, less than 9.
Yeah, we're gonna pass each other.
We are gonna pass each other. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, that's mine. Yep, I got it.
Yep, here we go. Close it. Close it. Good. Yep. 1. Get it. Hold.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Do like a squeeze stretch set. Kind of hold the squeeze for a couple seconds, hold the stretch for a couple seconds. Just do as many as you can.
Okay. Ooh.
All right. Good on that. So when you're doing hamstring curls, think about doing a bicep curl with your legs. Think about like almost like doing a preacher curl. Keep your hips pressed down and just really squeeze with the bicep of your leg, which is your hamstring. I remember when I was younger, I would get on the hamstring curl and stack the whole weight and throw it around and not have good hamstrings. So thanks to this guy, I learned how to train hamstrings a lot better. We're just gonna keep ascending weight here until it gets hard. We'll probably do like 2 or 3 pretty hard sets with an intensifier at the end where he helps me get up and pulls me down. I resist. When you're feeding up hamstring curls, I like to do like more reps, like at least 10 to 12. Get a lot of blood in there. We're chasing a lot of blood today.
Okay.
That's our first set.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all right. It's not bad. Today's actually a high carb day, so I actually feel pretty good. And I have a burger waiting for me after this.
Okay.
Up. Up. Oh. We call those partner reps where you fight and pulling you down. That's a good way to finish. Good. Get it up. Good. Up. Come on. All right, so next up we have a leg press. We're gonna do it on the hammer strength leg press. And this is probably like my least favorite leg press, but the reason we're using it because it has a nice wide platform because we're gonna do almost like a sumo leg press. So you're gonna hit some teardrop in this movement the way we do it, and that's okay. It's still a leg day. You're still gonna use your quads a little. But what we're really wanting to do is open our hips pretty wide and really stretch the hamstrings and glutes out and get that deep load into our posterior chain. Almost like you're doing a low bar wide stance squat, but on the leg press, and just trying to really squeeze hamstrings and glutes in it. But yeah, you're gonna hit some quad too. So we'll work up and do 2 pretty tough sets here. Not crazy weight, not doing like probably more than 5 or 6 plates aside, if that. And then we'll go back over to the seated hamstring curl to finish off the hamstrings before we move into some stretching movements. Like 7. Oh! Noli, noli. Oh! 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 Up! 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 Oh, that's good. We try to exaggerate the control so it's a little bit of a more exaggerated eccentric. Really trying to load the backside without letting the quads completely take over. It's a little bit different. It's a little hard to master. Still trying to learn how to do it. Ah! 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 Yeah. Ah! Come on. Good.
Ah!
Good. Roll it.
Ah!
Yep. Good.
Ah!
I think you got 2. Milk them. Come on. Up. Okay.
Okay.
Out with the bone spurs. Then they sew your patella back together, and then they screw through your femur and your tibia, and then they use bone screws to screw it in place.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And then you have like a torn patella.
That's also disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they say not to use your patella.
It's
too.
extremely painful, but it's 3 times as strong as your ACL. So now I have like a bionic knee.
Yeah.
Should get my other one done just because.
Yep.
Fuck. Oh, okay. Hit a wall. Out. Load. Out. Load. Stretch. Up. Own these. Own these. Yeah. Keep it rolling. Yeah. Come on. I got you. Get it up.
Today, Matt goes, add an extra 8 ounces of juice and a chocolate milk to your post-workout. I'm like, can do. He's like, that would be perfect for you. He's like, you'll get an extra like 300 to 400 calories. Okay. Come on. A little aggressive. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Hold slow. Okay, let it out. You could just get jacked and do lunges. Oh, high volume, baby. Hold on, don't do it. It comes off my legs. Okay. One Mississippi. Good. Squeeze for 1 second. Good. Let it out a little faster. Good. Squeeze. Good. Come on. Squeeze. 5 more. 3, 2, 1.
Whew. That was a little partial reps at the end, a little iso hold. Yeah, I did raise it a little. Actually, a few plates.
Oh,
Good.
oh.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
I got it. That's fine. Oh, geez.
All right, so we're at the end of the workout here. I'll kind of run through what we did. We stretched, we did adductors, we did lying hamstring curls with some intensifiers, we did a wide stance leg press, we did seated leg curls, and normally now we stretch the muscle and load it in a stretch position. I like to end workouts doing that typically. Now, normally we would use the pit shark and do like an RDL, but my lower back hurts and I don't want to push it. So I'm going to use this booty builder machine, which is very similar, but I'll be able to target hamstrings more, stretching them under load, and then contracting my glutes really hard at the top. And probably just do like 3 sets of 10 to 15 here just to finish off. And I think Jacoby's probably, are you going to do that? He's going to do the RDL, so we'll show that too. So it's funny how injuries make you more conscious about which muscles you're working. So there's a tendency on this, I think, to use a lot of erector. And so that's hurting me today. So I'm actually going to try to keep the handle and the cable out here rather than pulling it into my body, because that gets me a lot of flexion in my erectors, and I'm trying not to do that. So I'm going to actually come out here with it and try to keep it back on my hamstrings and glutes. And that's what I'm noticing is feeling better today. So again, like when I talk about intuitive training, is like thinking about the muscles you're working. If you have an injury, adjust your technique to work around it. And that's just part of maturing as a bodybuilder. You can't just go into the gym and just bang your head against the wall with your logbook every training session. Sometimes you got to work around things and keep the train moving. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm gonna do this little adjustment to the technique and see how it goes. Okay. Oh, it's hard. That felt good. I'm torched. Come on. Good. All right, that wraps up today's hamstring glute day. This was more of a hamstring focused day. Couldn't do some of the glute exercises I do. Normally I might throw in a hip thrust or a split squat, but with my lower back pretty tweaked, I had to work around it. We do more direct glute work on our other hamstring glute day. We kind of alternate exercises. So for those of you who sent in questions, I'm going to run through them really quickly. What do you like to do for activation and warming up? Kind of covered this in the quad video, so if you haven't checked that out, I do kind of the same warm up on hamstring day as I do for quad day, which is I come back here, I stretch out my adductors, my hamstrings, I do those hip stretches. I think they're called 90-90s. Nick Clough taught me them, but basically you lay on your glute basically, and you just lean forward and stretch them out, and then you do the same thing with your adductor, and you do both legs. As I always say, you can usually trace most problems to tight hips, tight ankles, and calves. So really working on stretching those out. And then we warm up with calves too. Again, stretching the calves out so we have good mobility when we leg press and do our other movements. The second question, can you run through the exercise order, how much volume to do, which exercises you picked? Kind of did that throughout the video, but I structure my hamstring workouts a lot around what I learned from John Meadows again. I like to start with an adductor, really stretch them out. You see a lot of pros do this. You see Brett do it, you see Martin do it, you see Nick do it, you see Justin do it. When you train around guys all the time, you see them doing certain things, you kind of pick up on it, but they learn from other people. So getting your adductors warm, any type of leg press or squat, anything that works with your hamstrings, when you're warm there and stretched out there first, just makes everything better. And then I really like to do the leg curl first in my sequence to get the hamstrings full of blood. And then I like to do the seated and the laying because you get a little bit of a different stimulus from each of those. If you had to pick one, I would pick seated. You get a little better activation because of the position that your hips are in. But lying has its place too. And sometimes I just get a nasty pump doing lying hamstring curls. I like to do more volume with hamstring curls, so can't go like crazy top sets on them. You still want it to be heavy, you still want to get a decent amount of reps. But as far as picking volume, like I chase hard reps. So I like look for these moments in my workout where the reps start to get really hard, and those like last 3-4 reps in a set that are really hard, those are the ones that are changing your body. So I want like 4 or 5 sets in a workout to be like that. And then I like to do some kind of squatting pattern or leg press pattern just to get a little bit of quads on my hamstring day, just to touch them up a little. And then I always like to end with stretching the muscle in a loaded position when the muscle's warm. I don't like to do like an RDL at the beginning. I don't like to stretch a muscle out when it's cold and not full of blood. Again, that's something that I learned from John Meadows. That's why we ended with that glute ham raise. And then the last question here, what would you say your top 3 motivations for pushing forward in bodybuilding are? That's an interesting question. Getting second place last year at USA's, that obviously pushes me forward to continue to go for a pro card. The other 2 top of my top 3 reasons, I'm very negatively motivated. A lot of people are very positive motivated, but I actually like to prove people wrong. I've had family members deride bodybuilding and say that because they couldn't turn pro in their sport when they were, a kid, that they just accepted it, and maybe it's time for me to do the same thing. I kind of say screw that. I think I'm good at that. I've always said as long as I can continue to progress year over year and show improvements in my physique and on stage and do so healthily without major injuries, that I would continue competing and see how far I can take it. Last year kind of confirmed that for me, getting a good coach to bring me into my all-time best, and I got very close to my goal, which was to turn pro. I've always said once I turn pro, maybe I would retire, but honestly, like the improvements I made this last year, I feel like I could go into the pro ranks and actually do some damage if I keep improving. I'm in a great environment to keep pursuing that. I'm 33, and I think I still have some good years ahead of me. I feel like I just figured out how to do this thing. the training and the eating and the bodybuilding. I kind of feel like I'm hitting my stride with it. So, and then I would say the last motivation, I go back to my very first show. The reason I got into bodybuilding, and I've told this story before, I'm not sure I've told it on this channel. I was a football player. I was really into weightlifting, and I was spotted by a coach at the gym who asked me if I was interested in bodybuilding, and I said I never thought about doing that before, and I decided to give it a try. I hated every aspect of the diet. I hated prepping for a show, but once I got on stage, I loved the moment of completing something like that. Pinnacle moment of having my spot and accomplishing a goal was awesome. But I was screwing off on my diet the whole time and didn't give it my all, and I still got fourth place. And I placed in my very first show. That was in 2016. I remember being backstage, and there was a guy sitting backstage. It was his 9th show, and he had been competing for 9 years, and he had never even placed top 5. And he like lived, breathed bodybuilding day in, day out. And he was just so happy to be there. And I was like miserable, barely trying, and I placed. And so I always think about like what I could have been doing with the sport had I been actually like applying myself, because I think I have a gift for it. And I think about that guy who was just happy to be there, and like he would give anything to get a placing. So I always think about him when I feel like, you know, wussying out on a set or not finishing my cardio. I always think, you know, well, I don't even know his name. I've thought about him for how many years is this? 8 years. I thought of him, and I'm probably gonna think about him someday when I turn pro, because like I just always think of that moment, how happy he was to be backstage competing, and I was miserable, and I realized that I'm, you know, I could actually apply myself and be good at it. And so sometimes I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna do it for you. I derive weird motivations, so that's actually one I think about pretty regularly. So anyway, that wraps up the hamstring video, guys. We're probably gonna do the arm and shoulder day next, which should be pretty cool. That's always a fun workout. Not so fun in the off season, but in prep, you look cool, you feel kind of crazy. So we'll hit that one up pretty soon. And keep watching, keep liking, keep subscribing, and we'll keep it rolling towards nationals. So thanks again. Peace out. Bye.